We are back, baby. We are here to get the second match underway. Kind of made a slaughter in round one against our blue-black control opponent. And if you haven't seen that, then go ahead and check out match one. So I think it's about time that we get slapped in the face a little bit. Maybe we get a demoralizing loss in this round just to make things even, you know? And I will do my best to make that not occur. But even if we do lose this round, that is not the point. We're here for the information, we're here for the learning, and the entertainment. And if you receive any of those things from my videos, including this one, then go ahead and leave a like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Otherwise, I'm here to see if we can resolve this obstinate Baloth right here in the sideboard. Always love to get a Baloth into play and gain 4 life. Other people, they want to slam with Primeval Titan and combo kill their opponent turn 2. And don't get me wrong, that's pretty good, but I mean, I just want to cast a turn 2 Explorer and then slam Obstinate Baloth on turn 3. I'm a simple person. I just like the value, and hopefully we can get some insane value in this match. So I will see you guys for the games. Let's just jump straight into this match. Let me know if you have any issues with the audio, as I am looking to improve it as much as possible. And here we see a hand with 3 Bounce Lands and 2 Garen Briggs. We're not even playing an Azusa on turn 3 unless we draw an untapped source here. I suppose we could pick up an Amulet or a Grazer, and that makes this hand a little bit better, but it's kind of slow. That said, I really like all the cards that are in this hand. We also would have to Summoner's Pact for our Titan, though, and tap out the turn after, so I don't know. I'm inclined to mulligan this one. Ugh. Well, this is the kind of hand that really, really badly needs a Titan, but otherwise it has everything else, so I'm willing to keep this. And I think we ship back the Vestige here. It could also be a Gruul Turf. I don't mind shipping back a Gruul Turf. I don't know. Having access to an extra bounce land here seems pretty good. I don't know. This one's a rough one. We're definitely keeping. We definitely need this Garen Brig and the Grazer. The Breeding Pool lets us transmute Telaria West. Forest plays against the Blood Moon. I don't know. Crumbling Vestige? Maybe not. Maybe not. Let's just ship back a bounce land, I think. That way we can go Grazer into tap Breeding Pool into Vestige to be able to cast a 3-drop on turn 2 here without getting any land drops behind, I suppose. I don't know. Actually, we might want to put a bounce land into play with our Grazer so that we have all untapped sources leading up to activating Garen Brig instead. So I'm actually going to get rid of this Breeding Pool, I think. I don't know. That was way too much deliberation about a decision that will most likely not matter in the slightest. We see a fetch of a Windswept Heath. Is this going to be the green-white? Oh, this is green-white Reclaimer. And there's a 3-drop. We love to see that. Green-white Reclaimer is typically a good matchup for Amulet, but it would be very nice if we actually had access to an Amulet here. Playing out this Gruul Turf, I know that our opponent could have a Ghost Quarter, but I'm not playing around it. Let's see if they have Splinter Twin. Do they have the Flagstones of Trocaire? Oh, they do not. So they're just activating Reclaimer, probably to get Flagstones here. So let's definitely play out this Dryad, I think. Boom. Into play. There it goes. Are we just playing the Vestige? Are we playing a bounce land? I guess a bounce land makes sense. That way they can Ghost Quarter us, and we'll still be able to play land Garen Brig and cast a Titan if we draw one, so there goes the basic forest. Let's see if our opponent gets the Flagstones or if they choose to get like a Ghost Quarter. They get the Flagstones. Okay, makes sense. So, those of you who are not familiar, Flagstones let you search for a Plains card whenever it is put into the graveyard from the battlefield. So, they can sacrifice their Flagstones to their Elvish Reclaimer in order to search for a land from the Reclaimer while also searching for a land from their Flagstones. So, it ramps them and lets them find whatever land they want, say like a Valcut or something, since they play Dryad of the Elysian Grove just as well as we do. So, there's that Ghost Quarter that we were talking about. That's fine. We'll get our regular basic forest. Titan. Ugh, that one is not a Titan. Unfortunate. I think we play the Rot Farm and just another land here, so sure. Let's not float. We're not casting anything, and no reason to pretend that we are. We can attack for 2 here, but they can just block with the Reclaimer, so that doesn't really do anything. Just need to top deck a Titan. Our opponent is mitigating their land loss by sacrificing the Ghost Quarter by getting an additional land with their Reclaimer here, so Of course, they have Scattered Groves. That's an interesting one. Some people love this one, and some people hate that one in green-white Reclaimer builds, as it enters tapped and can't play a Reclaimer on turn 1. But in the late game, you can cycle it, which gives you some additional value. Of course, it needs to be a plane so that you can get it off of a flagstones for field diversity. But I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of Scattered Groves personally. All right, come on, deck. Titan. Primeval Titan is the card. Or Summoners Pact. I'll settle. Hanweir, not really doing it. Okay, well, we'll play Snow Forest and Castle. Holding on to this Hanweir in case our opponent has access to something like a Tectonic Edge, or maybe they play a Ramanop Excavator and get their Ghost Quarter back into play. We want to be able to immediately haste our Titan with our Hanweir, rather than being unable to do so if our opponent has interaction for our Hanweir, so things are starting to look kind of bad, though. If our opponent is able to resolve a Titan here, which is not unlikely, then we could be in some trouble. And their Titan will be triggering Field of the Dead, which may not be a problem as long as we can keep our Dryad in play, and as long as we top deck a Titan of our own, because we can fetch up double Valakut and send some triggers at these Reclaimers, perhaps, and the Titan itself. Of course, we have to get the Titan out of play. If we don't really accomplish that, then it's not really great for us. That said, if we can keep our Dryad in play, then, or if they answer our Dryad, but we both have Titan in play, we might be able to swing that, as long as they don't have a Dryad. So, I don't know. We'll just have to see what happens. I definitely did say when we kept this hand that this is the type of hand that needs to top deck a Primeval Titan, so they do have their own Titan, so here comes a Field of the Dead and something else. I don't know what the other thing would be. Probably just a Flagstones, I guess. Field plus Flagstones seems alright here. Field plus Basic Forest? No, it was Field plus Flagstones. Okay. Not super surprised here. We'll yield to the Field's triggers, and let's just pray that we top deck Primeval Titan. Let's go ahead and throw a Grazer under the bus. I guess this profitably blocks zombies. We can block with a Dryad. That's pretty free. Let's just take 3. Second Field of the Dead. Okay, Titan. Titan. No. Okay, we might just be straight up dead here. Let's play out one of our Gruul Turfs, and we'll pick up and replay Forest, and we'll pass it back and hope that we're not dead, I guess. They don't have a Dryad, seemingly, so that might be fine. I wonder if they're playing the Hallowed Fountain and Talaria West. Some lists are, some lists are not. I think mainly the lists that were playing those 2 cards were the Amulet Reclaimer, like, fusion builds that play both Amulet of Vigor and Elvish Reclaimer. They get a Blast Zone. That's interesting. And a third Field of the Dead, because they needed a third one for some reason. Let's see, we're taking 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So this is 1 away from lethal, right? So that's 4, 10, 16. Is it worth getting 1 zombie out of play, or is it better to go to 2? I think it's probably better to go to 2. I don't know, though. If we resolve a Titan, we're probably just killing our opponent with double Valakut, so yeah, let's just do it this way. Hope our opponent doesn't have a path. Or a Dryad, I suppose. Just play not Dryad of the Elysian Grove. Another Titan. We actually might be able to survive that, in all honesty. Another Titan is not necessarily the best thing for our opponent to have access to here. They have Sanctuary, plus whatever land. They return the Scattered Groves. I assume they're going to cycle it looking for a Dryad, and if they don't find a Dryad, they'll just commit a Titan here. It still doesn't change the fact that our out... Oh, they found the Dryad. Okay, well, they still need to have a land to play after they play their Dryad, so... You can play the Dryad, that's fine. No land. And they have the land. Okay, well, that is the game. Let's go to game 2, where now we have access to some things to interact with our opponent. If it'll let us get to sideboarding. Okay, so we want Dismembers, as obviously Dryad is extremely important in this matchup. We want Reclamation Sage, again for Dryad. Force of Vigor, again for Dryad. I guess that one's a 4-drop, so, you know, whatever. Not really a big fan of Explosives here. We could put it on 1 and blow up our opponent's Reclaimers, but to be honest, Amulet is a better 1-drop than Reclaimer is. Sorry, I said it. I had to say it. But I don't want to be blowing up our Amulets just to get rid of their Reclaimers, so we can trim some Grazers. They're not super impactful here, although getting a advanced 3-drop into play on turn 2 definitely is a good play, but I don't think it's necessary. Explorer's alright here. I think we could trim 1. I'm going to trim 1 Summoner's Pack to play around even Mind Sensor. Maybe we want a Beast Within here as well. Maybe, maybe not. I could see trimming 1 Explorer. I don't know. Explore seems good in this matchup. This matchup revolves almost entirely around Dryad and nothing else, so Pact Negation, I guess that one's fine. Not in love with it, though. Actually, let's get the Pact out of here. And that's fine. I guess we could trim Cavern. Our opponent's unlikely to be playing any counter magic, so that might be a move. We'll see. We have Bounce Lands galore. We have an Amulet. We have a Grazer. We have Titan, but we have no turn 1 land. Man, what I wouldn't give for any of these cards here to be a single land, even if the Grazer was a land that would cast Amulet on turn 1 or turn 2, I would settle, but this hand not really striking me as the best. Let's see. We have how many untapped lands in our deck? We have 2 bounce lands in hand, so we have these 5, Vesuva doesn't count, plus these 15. So we have 20 cards in 53 cards. 1 second, let's jump over to the hyper geometric calculator to figure out this math. Okay, so our population size is 53 cards. We have 20 lands that we could draw here, so that's our number of successes. Let's look at 1 card draw first, and hoping to hit 1 land. We are 40% chance to hit at least 1 land in our first card draw, which is not too bad. If we expand this to 2 card draws... What? Oh, my bad. Wrong number. So if we expand this to 2 card draws, it goes up to 60%, so in the first 2 turns, we're likely to hit a untapped land here. It's probably close to 80% on the 3rd draw, but if we're playing an untapped land on the 3rd turn, I don't know, even an untapped land on the 2nd turn, if it doesn't immediately cast Amulet, it's not that great. I don't know, I think we have to mulligan this. It kind of sucks, but like this hand is passable, I suppose. Has almost no ramp, but we have an answer to our opponent's Dryad, and that is very critical. We could also dismember a turn 1 Reclaimer, perhaps. Yeah, I don't really think that the odds were going to be in our favor if we were trying to top deck a land there, so at least we knew the probabilities, so we knew what kind of percentage chance we were giving up, but just didn't feel like a winning line to try to keep that hand. We do have Titan mana in this hand, and these following cards, so that's pretty cool. We could also transmute Talari West for a Garen Brig and be able to cast Titan a turn earlier. We're certainly keeping this, and we do have to bottom one of these cards. I think most likely it's going to be the Turn Timber. That might be wrong if we don't find a Titan, but we do have Summoner's Pack for a Titan here. Kind of rough. But we want all of our blue sources for the Talari West. I guess we could go without the basic forest, perhaps. That seems fine. Alright, we are on the play. I almost passed it back to our opponent. Let's go ahead and play this tapped Serpentine Wood and pass it back. Next, we're probably playing this Talari West. Our opponent is tanking here on their upkeep. Shocking and Temple Garden playing a turn 1 Reclaimer. See, oh, there's a Garen Brig. That's actually fantastic. We're definitely playing the Talari West, so let's do that. The question is, do we dismember this of Reclaimer now, or do we wait for a Dryad? I think it probably makes sense to get rid of the Reclaimer. I personally think that Dryad is a little more scary, but the Reclaimer is one of their engines, and if they were keeping a hand that relies on Reclaimer to build up their land drops here, a Dryad is not all that scary. especially if we get our own Dryad into play before resolving a Titan, so... Our best top deck here would be a Dryad of our own. We play a Grazer on this opposing side. Interesting. Garen Brig and Windswept Teeth, and they pass it back. Okay. The Titan is not bad. Do we want to pack for a Dryad here? Well, we're not casting Titan this upcoming turn anyways. As long as we play out these 2 lands and save the Growth Chamber, then we are at no risk of dying to a land destruction effect like a Ghost Quarter. I guess we could die to a Tectonic Edge, but I doubt that our opponent has that one. I think we're playing the Dryad here. I don't see a problem with it. I guess before we tap our mana, let's cast the pack. Might as well. Try to stay ahead of our opponent if we can. If we get pathed, then we're going to have to play around a Path to Exile anyways, so that's not really a problem at all. Castle, pass it back. We'll be able to pay for it, and then in a turn after this upcoming turn, we'll be able to play Titan, hopefully with Dryad in play. Are we going to see a Path to Exile here? No? Okay. Our opponent has Boil in their deck. Well, I guess we lose to Boil. Wasn't thinking about that. Okay. Well, what did I say? We were in line for a savage stomping here. Haven't gotten punked that hard by Boil ever. So, wow. You know what? To be honest, though, I'm totally fine with it. And let me know in the comments if you think that going for the Dryad that turn was still a solid line. Is it worth playing around Boil? Is there anything that is a better consideration that perhaps we should just wait on the Dryad and not cast the Summoner's Pact? I don't know. You let me know what you think. And yeah, we kind of got destroyed. But you know what? That's okay. It's all part of the learning experience. And speaking of that, I will see you guys in the next match where hopefully we can learn a little more. This is Redface Menace, signing off.